Please, allow me to show you something.
Welcome to a very special edition of the Celeb strand of our One Great Hand series. Zach Grossack and Giorgia Botta, recently returned from playing the mixed pairs in the 2022 World Championships in Poland, have some highly entertaining stories about, okay, I admit it, more than one great hand. But who could object to that? Over to you guys to tell us of your adventures.
So, hi everyone. I'm here with my partner from the World Mix, Giorgia Botta, fresh out of Poland, where we competed in the mixed World Championships. And when we were there, I sort of noticed this theme where every time Giorgia would open a 5-card week too, we would get an amazing results. So now some background on this. When I was like a junior, I would open like every 5-card suit I could find, not all. Yeah, right. When I would open everything I could find. Like I'm 5, 4, 3, 1, 2 spades. Queen fifth, queen fourth, 2 spades. I would do it nonstop, And as I got older, I sort of tapered it off. Like I sort of started trying to play like solid bridge, or in some other regard, I was like playing, picking different spots to be aggressive because it's a little bit random. It can totally blow up in your face. You get to games you don't want to be in, yada, yada. Now, Giorgia, as she was saying, was the other way. If you preempted a 5-card speed, literally they kicked you out. That was it. FIGB, you say goodbye, bye, ciao, ciao, or you leave. You see yourself through the door. But we sit down and we're playing the round robin. And on the team we're playing on, we're expected to have good results. We try to, create a little, not just sit there and do nothing, but create a little action too, which we kind of do naturally. So I see Giorgia and she starts in one hand, she opens this 5-card preempt and the defense is happening and we move along and I notice this 5 cards and it works stupendously. Like it works perfectly. Like this, they either miss a game or they do something. So then, why don't we start with the hand we sat down against Mike in with Pepsi in May? Is this a good one?
I mean, that was definitely a good one. poor guys. I mean, I'm not sure we should really be, saying names. We can do with these poor people.
Well, we've decided that, like, we kept saying this to each other, like, okay, we got to stop the 5-card preempts now. It's working
too well. Okay,
it's working.
We have
too
like
well.
5 tops. I am terrified of what's happening next.
We can't keep doing this. It can't keep working. So Giorgia naturally picks up, a good 5, 4, 3, 1, like 8 points. King, Jack, 9, 5 of spades. King, 4th of a minor. 3 hearts and a stiff club, I believe, was what you had.
Stiff
King, 3rd of hearts.
Clubs,
You're like King, 3rd of hearts, singleton, diamond, and Jack, 10, 4 of the clubs.
Right.
And first seat, not vol against vol.
I couldn't help it, okay? Even if we said we were stopping, I just could not help it.
We couldn't help it. It was going too well. So Giorgia opens 2 spades. Okay, and it goes pass. And I had some reasonable hand with not too much, but I had a pass. And it goes double. Now, Giorgia's right-hand opponent and my left-hand opponent had a very big hand. I don't know what you're supposed to do with this hand. You have a very hard bridge problem because they're vol. You have 17 very nice points. You have a heart void. I mean, even if you bid no trump, your partner might transfer to hearts now. Who held the hand thought that she could survive a double. And it's not, I don't think, unreasonable to double here at all.
It didn't work.
It did not work to double on this board because now Giorgia passed and her partner had 6 hearts to the queen and a weakish hand. He bid 3 hearts. And
then she went back to 3-0, which
and now she tried 3-0.
I guess that's a no-brainer, kind of.
Right. Now the partner has hearts. He bid 3-0. Now when passed, and Pepsi wasn't in on the joke on my right and bid 4 hearts. And at this point, I didn't have much, but I had ace, jack, 10, 9 of hearts. So I was like, okay. So I doubled. And now it goes 4-0. And Giorgia should have doubled this one herself.
Totally.
Totally should have doubled this one herself.
I was just so mesmerized that we were getting another top out of it. I don't know what's going on.
It was so mesmerized. So when pass passed to me, so I doubled again. And they didn't take many tricks. we got
I led the
collected
heart. I think we got 1400 or something like that.
11.
Only 11. Okay, well,
we got 1100. Another 5 card preamps. Okay, 1100.
And I think this was literally at least top number 5 in 4 days of opening a 5 card preamp.
I mean,
and every time I did it, I'm like, Zach, literally my ancestors are like turning in their graves, but it's working. So I'm gonna just ignore them, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm adapting to modern expert standard, as Zach would remind me all the time, because that's his favorite line.
The running joke.
This is not expert standard. This is Italian standard. That's his
what was
favorite
the auction
line.
where Giorgia gave an auction where I thought, now I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong. Okay, they one spade they open on my left. Giorgia doubled, it went past, and I bid 3 hearts. This is playing match points. And for me, this doesn't necessarily need to be 5 hearts. This is like 4 hearts and like 9 to 11. For Giorgia, this is 5 hearts 100% of the time.
This is not Giorgia. All right. Can we put like a survey in this video? Because I really don't think that just Giorgia thinks that jumping to 3 hearts shouldn't be 4 cards, a balanced hand, and 10 points. I think more than one expert would say that you might need 5 for this bid. So I really would like to request a survey link. So please, if you're watching the video, click on the survey, say whatever you think is right. Please do not try to say I'm right. And then we'll see. We'll just
That's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I think we let the people decide. We send out. We should have that, they can embed a survey.
Yes, we'll do it. Don't worry. We are on it because I'm pretty sure I'm right. So I'm pushing for this.
1 spade, double, pass, 3 hearts. That's the option. How many hearts are you?
What type of hand are you supposed to have?
We should say how many hearts would you expect and how many hearts are required.
And how many points would you expect too? Because I would never expect 10 or 11 points either, by the way.
What do you expect, like 8, 7?
Yeah, like kind of weak. If you have a good hand, you do something else. Anyways, we already talked about this plenty after the fact. Don't worry. So we know what our opinions are.
That was just saying that was an example of expert standard. So it was working so well. When we got to the match points phase of the 5 card preamps, I picked up like a 5-3-3-2. And once again, first seat, not bowl against bowl.
I mean, they keep serving us to have on a silver platter.
They're like,
it's like temptation.
It's a temptress. I was like, well, I have no shape. I have a lot of defense, but I'm still going to open 2 diamonds because it's just working. Sometimes you just go with what works. And of course, this time, it goes 2 diamonds. They double. It goes 3 diamonds. And I think North probably should have doubled at this point. But they chose to bid 3 hearts because they didn't want to bid 4 hearts because they had 12 points, but 4 small hearts. And 3 hearts ended the auction. They had 26 combined and make whatever they, any game they want to make. So it was just like every
I'm pretty sure this was our last one. I think we actually stopped after this.
No, we must have
because I vividly remember picking up another hand. I don't really remember the details of it. It was really close, but I remember thinking, no more. It's too borderline, and I have gotten away with way too many of those in the last 4 days. So no more. And I'm pretty sure that the person to my left opened my 5 card major when I left. So I am pretty sure.
Timing.
I was like, oh, good job.
Epic timing.
That's right.
So we had a little saga with 5 card preamps. Now I don't think either of us is gonna do. Who knows? Next time we pick it up, if it doesn't, first time it doesn't work, we gotta get rid of it.
I think that's it. I think the romance,
maybe
the 5 card preamps is over.
We're playing again. Our next big tournament's in May, right? That's our next one.
The trials, yes.
Yeah. So I think we'll come into the trials just like a little. We'll take a step back.
A little scared of those 5 cards.
We'll look at the 5 card preamps. We'll notice. We'll take note, but we won't do it.
Yes, that's right. I think we'll still never be scared of 50% slams. That will always be our thing regardless, but maybe we'll just tone it down on the 5-card.
We had some good slam stories too, didn't we?
Yeah, we had some good slam stories too.
There was one hand I bid us to slam. It was a sacrifice.
Shockingly, Zach made us.
I bid us to slam, where the opponent with my cards at the other table took no bids, right? That was
Zach got us to a sacrifice, vulnerable versus non-vulnerable slam, and you can imagine like how much I'm sweating because of course I had to play that. I always have to end up playing the slam. Somehow Zach gets us to them and then I'm declaring them, which is really the worst kind of combination. But anyways,
I had some really shapely hand and I was like, I don't want.
Yeah, Zach was 6-5. I think it was
no, it was 6-6. I had 9, 8, 7, 6. I had like 6 spades to the 9, queen 10, 9, 6 the hearts, and a stiff diamond and a void. Right.
Yeah, and the bidding went 1-0 on Zach's left, I guess.
Yeah.
Pass 2-0, transfer to clubs.
Spades. Two spades, transfer to clubs.
And now Zach with a big fat
3 clubs. No, I just bid 3. I bid 3.
3 clubs.
We were vulnerable. They were not. I sort of probably shouldn't bid. I mean, probably.
It's
but I bid 3 clubs. I showed the major. It's not super dangerous yet. It might get dangerous later if my partner takes me seriously. But I think Giorgia, even Brad.
I've learned. I've learned my lessons.
So she bids. I bid 3 clubs, and I show the majors. It goes
3-0.
3-0. They bid freely, which probably showed some sort of club fit. And now Giorgia bid 4 hearts on her own, and I was like, whoa. And it went 5 hearts on my right. And I'm like, and the person on my right did not look like they messed about. They weren't like bidding 5 hearts as some sort of joke. So I was like, well, I don't know. They could be cold. I don't know. This could be the type of hand where maybe we're down 3 and 6. I didn't think we were going down more than 3 and 6 hearts. I thought they might be cold for 7 clubs. And unless Giorgia had some surprise stack of tricks somewhere, they're making at least 6, like 100%. Like this person's not joking with their 5 heart bid. So red vulnerable against not. I just bid 6 hearts. I didn't think too much about it. I just bid it.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. It worked out perfectly because we went.
It was like amazing.
We're down to, I think, 500, and
so they doubled. The guy on my left, George's right, had king and a heart, and it's sort of a maximum. And so he doubled in his partner's face, and it went past. And she had a very good hand.
For a long time. She was ready to bid 7.
She was ready. She had like an amazingly good hand, and they are cold for 7 clubs. They just 13 tricks. You don't look at the rest of the hand, but she passed. So we went in. We only lose 2 spades in a.
But this was not the only time that you decided to sacrifice against 6 or 9. The other time it wasn't quite so good.
Which one?
The other time the bidding was amazing. The bidding went 1 spade by Zach. They doubled. I bid 2 spades, showing a weaker raise.
No, so I'll tell you this story too. This one, I had 9 spades to the ace, king, queen, 10. Okay. Once again, I find myself in first seat, not vol against vol. I think it happened too many times this tournament, or we just had action every time. I had 9 spades to the ace, king, queen, 10, and nothing else. No voids. Stiff, too small, something like that. Or too small, stiff. And I can't open 4 spades because it's just preemptive. Okay, and I just can't do that. My hand's too good. You're gonna miss every slam you'd ever dealt. Okay, so I can't open that. I want to open 2 clubs, but I think it's illegal. I mean, I want to. I really want to. It's very preemptive. It really will keep them out of the auction. But I can't. So I just opened 1 spade and it went double. And Giorgia bid 2 spades as a weak raise. Okay. I have the farthest thing from a trick in my hand. Because now I have 9 spades opposite 3 spades. One of the spades are 1-0. I'm taking 0 tricks. I'm taking negative tricks. They're playing with a full 30-point deck, and Giorgia showed a weak raise. I'm like, I'm gonna have to bid 7 against 7. They're gonna make whatever they bid in my mind. So they bid 4-0 on my right. So I just bid 6 spades, which I think is completely normal. I mean, we
weren't saying we were normal. We were just saying that this time
I could try. Maybe I could psych something, but I just tried 6 spades. Now this one was whatever. It's down 3 against. They go down 1 in 6 clubs because Giorgia, like you said,
my 2 kings were really not in right position. I knew the moment I was putting down the dummy.
This is wonderful.
The moment I was
Then
putting
she
on the dummy, I'm
took the
like,
ace
this
and
is
then the ace,
not
and
what
then
you
the
want to
third
see.
the third ace came, and I said, well, they took 2 side aces, and then I thought one of the kings might not be working, but no, sadly.
Yeah, they were both winning tricks. I knew as I was putting down the dummy, it was not the hand my partner wanted when they bid 6 spades.
No, but the 6-6 hand was very good. So Georgia got out for down 2, vulnerable for 500, and our teammates came back and they said, plus 940, sorry, and I said win 10. That was like that was the moral of that story.
And they're like, what did you do this
What did
time,
you do?
Zach?
So we had
Yeah.
those are our preamps, and that was that.
And our funky slams that, sometimes they
Our
work,
slams.
sometimes they don't, but we're gonna keep trying. We're not stopping, because as they say, right? If you stop when it doesn't work, then the next one is gonna work and you're gonna miss it. So we're not stopping, and we're gonna keep getting most of them right and a few of them wrong. What can we do? All right, so we had another good slam story, but
this time we should tell you about a slam we bid to make instead
right,
of
exactly. This time it was actually a making slam, a makeable making slam. It wasn't a sacrifice, and you can guess who the declarer was.
Yeah, well, you bid it this time, so it goes 2 spades on her right. They're vulnerable, we're not. She passes, which you don't want to bid yet with this hand, and it goes 3 spades on the left, and now Zachary voluntarily bids 4 no trump, which is, the minors, or, diamonds and hearts if I have that. So it goes pass. And so this is a situation, the opponents weren't in game. It's not their hand, right? So Georgia knew that I was bidding 4 no trump, was sort of to play, trying to make 5 of a minor. So even though we were not vol against vol, she knew I still had a good hand, because they weren't bidding a game. It'd be much different if when 2 spades past 4 spades. Now she wouldn't know what my 4-no range was, right? But here, 2 spades past 3 spades, I bid 4-no. I have to be bidding 5 and minor to make. So with 2 aces in the majors and queen 10 fifth of clubs and stiff queen of diamonds, she figured, I'll bid 6 clubs now, and if Zach corrects 6 diamonds, we can play 6 hearts, and that should probably be fine as well. So Georgia tried 6 clubs, which I think was good.
I mean, it was good, and it was kind of cold, except I almost managed to let them make me go down somehow. It was cold, but it wasn't so easy, because we had 7 diamonds and diamonds were 5-1. So, I had to be a little careful promoting the long diamonds within the dummy. And as I was roughing the diamonds, the person to my right was discarding my hearts, and the king of hearts was one of my entries to the dummy to promote the diamond. So I just had to be a little bit careful. I mean, it wasn't hard. I just, you're beating a slam. It's a little borderline. Of course, I'm a little bit like a nervous wreck anyhow. So I'm trying to be really careful not to screw it up. And
now, a little preface: if they had just let it trump, you actually can't make this hand.
Yeah, they can pull.
But they didn't. They started with the top diamond,
and then the shift to a trump. So now the play.
You have some work to do. You're gonna want to win this in dummy, rough a diamond. I don't know. Let's say heart to the king. You never play the ace of hearts, so heart to the king. You roughed another diamond, and now your right hand opponent's pitching hearts. And you played ace of spades, pitching, and rough the spade low, and rough the diamonds. And what do you do now? You played
back, rough a spade, rough a diamond. Now the diamonds were good.
The diamond was good. So now she was gonna, play a spade to dummy, the last spade, and
the last trump.
Right, and the guy didn't realize that the 7 was high, or whatever the dummy spot was high.
Now he thought that his partner had 2 more trumps instead of just 1. So he thought that when I pool, that's not enough, and she's gonna rough my diamond, and then I have no more entries, no more trumps, and no more nothing. I was on the side with this Polish guy, not the friendliest, but whatever, totally fine, somewhat fine up to that point. And I played a 7 of spades, and I won't even remember the card because I said that word so many times. The 7 of spades from my hand, and I put it in the middle of the table, and I go trump and pool, and this guy starts screaming, down two, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? And now
no,
I'm like,
no, it started with no. With Georgia, Georgia was going to lean in. And she played the 7 of spades. She was going to lean in. So he says no. And no, down 2, no. And Georgia's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, what's going on? And Georgia's like, what are you talking about? So now she's played the spade, but then she's like, well, I'll play the ace of, at this point, Georgia puts the ace of hearts out on the table. The ace of hearts just emerges on the table, and the woman can ruff the ace of hearts. So now if it's a played card, she can ruff the ace of hearts because she was just trying to show him. She was very flustered. She's like, no, I have the ace of hearts.
I mean, this guy was screaming so, like, it was so mean. It was screaming in my face, so obnoxious.
I'm all like,
I lost
this is not going down. Like, what are we just been 6 clubs? She was like making the contract. The guy had to say no, down 2, no, like no. It's like this little loud man is screaming. Georgia's like, nobody. She's like, and then she put the ace of hearts emerges. It's just a little ace of hearts.
I can see exact face when I play the ace of clubs.
And then I'm like, oh, she can ruff it because she's pitching all the hearts behind. And every time Georgia ruffed a diamond to her hand, the woman on the right was pitching her heart. So it was like, she can't play a heart. She played. She was leaning in to play a spade, and like it was clear that she could claim rough, draw the trump, dummy was high. And so,
but the bottom line is that, of course, we called the director came, and thank God, nowadays in 2022, we have cameras with audio on each table, because that's literally what it came down to. Like, this guy didn't even concede when he realized he was wrong and his partner did not have 2 more trumps. That's the part to me that was most mind-blowing, that he didn't go like, oh, sorry, yes, you made it, let's move on. No, they called the director, they said I went down, and thank you for those cameras with the audio, because at the end of the round, the director came out to us and he was like, we literally had to put the audio on speaker, on all the speakers in the room, but we heard you saying pull and draw, so the result will stand. But literally, we had to put the volume to maximum on all the speakers. So in the future, please, just don't claim, just finish playing. And I'm like, literally, I don't claim all lot.
Or call the director.
Yeah, I would call the director when the problem happens. Don't try to continue, which of course, I mean, even literally like beginners know not to continue. But in the moment, I was just so flustered. But anyways, so there was an interesting play of the hand, but most importantly, don't continue playing if they don't accept your claim. And I hope that there are cameras with audio on your table.
Yeah, that was lucky. Well, we did score it as 920.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did, and we just hope that nothing bad came back to us as a result. Yeah.
So that's our sort of Poland experience. Some of our Poland experience. We didn't do amazingly well on the teams. We made it to the round of 32, and then we lost. And then so we get to play the World Pairs, and we did get to the final of that, and that was a very high intensity after 7 days of bridge match points experience, where they sort of lock you in the dungeon. That you're downstairs, you're in the dungeon of the Halo Stolecia in Poland. You're downstairs in the dungeon. You can't leave. There's no leaving. There's no going upstairs. There's none of that.
No windows. There is no sunlight.
And after the first session, we were leading, but it sort of went downhill from there. So we finished, I think, 11th or 10th, and in the pairs, and we hope to improve on that. Next time, we're going to be vying to get a spot in Marrakech in 2020.
Yeah, I'm going to Marrakech, and I don't want to go as a tourist, Zach. Okay, so better get your act together, because I do not want to be shopping at the souk. I would like to be in the dungeon of the equivalent place in Marrakech, please.
I hope it's not in a dungeon this time.
I'll take the dungeon if needed.
So that's our next hope is to be playing in Marrakech in 2023. So the trials for that are in May, but till then we're gonna just be, talking, practicing. I'm having sleepovers.
That's right. Fighting for the most part, of course, because you see the good side of us here, because by the time we get here, we have already, we've
done our therapy, we've done our sessions.
It's not always this cute. There's like less cute moments at times, but at the end of the day, like good brothers and sisters, we come back to peace and love until the next expert standard disagreement. And please remember to vote.
Remember to vote. Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking forward to the highlights of your next outing on the international stage, guys. I'm sure there'll be many more great hands and great stories. It's been a delight to hear about your experiences, so huge thanks to both of you. You're awesome role models for young players everywhere. And talking of Youth Bridge, please do consider supporting our efforts to bring new young players to the game and reap the benefits of being part of our Patreon community at www.patreon.com/ntbridge.